Hello everybody, welcome to my channel.
Kurt Russell is an American actor whose career spans over 6 decades, making him one of Hollywood's most versatile and enduring stars. Born on March 17, 1951, in Springfield, Massachusetts, Russell was introduced to acting at an early age through his father, Bing Russell, who was also an actor and minor league baseball team owner. Early career in Disney years. Russell began acting as a child, making his television debut in the early 1960s. His first notable film appearance came in It Happened at the World's Fair, 1963, where he had a small role alongside Elvis Presley. His talent quickly caught the attention of Walt Disney, who signed him to a long-term contract. Russell became one of Disney's most reliable young stars in the late 1960s and early 1970s, headlining films such as The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes, 1969, Now You See Him, Now You Don't, 1972, and The Strongest Man in the World, 1975. Rise to stardom. After transitioning from Disney's wholesome image, Russell reinvented himself in the late 1970s and 1980s with more mature and diverse roles. His collaboration with director John Carpenter was pivotal to this shift. He starred as Elvis Presley in Carpenter's acclaimed TV movie Elvis, 1979, earning an Emmy nomination, and later took on iconic roles in Escape from New York, 1981, as the antihero Snake Plissken, The Thing, 1982, and Big Trouble in Little China, 1986. These performances cemented his reputation as a charismatic and tough leading man. 1990s success. Russell's career flourished through the 1990s with roles in major box office hits and critically acclaimed films. He starred in Tango and Cash, 1989, opposite Sylvester Stallone, the sci-fi blockbuster Stargate, 1994, and the cult classic Tombstone, 1993, where his portrayal of Wyatt Earp remains one of his most celebrated roles. He also showed range in thrillers like Breakdown, 1997, and dramas like Silkwood, 1983, which earned him critical praise. 2000s to present. In the 2000s and beyond, Russell continued to prove his versatility. He starred in Quentin Tarantino's Death Proof, 2007, and The Hateful Eight, 2015, as well as mainstream hits like Sky High, 2005, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, 2017. He also appeared in the Fast and Furious franchise, playing the enigmatic government agent known as Mr. Nobody. His rugged charisma and natural screen presence have kept him relevant across multiple generations of filmgoers. Personal life. Russell has been in a long-time relationship with actress Goldie Hawn since 1983, forming one of Hollywood's most enduring partnerships. The couple never married but have raised a blended family, including their son Wyatt Russell, who is also an actor, and Goldie's children Kate and Oliver Hudson, both of whom Russell has been a father figure to. Legacy. Kurt Russell's career is remarkable not only for its longevity but also for the breadth of roles he has undertaken. From Disney's clean-cut teen star to cult action hero, from historical figures to comedic and dramatic roles, Russell has consistently demonstrated a unique ability to adapt and entertain. He is widely admired for his down-to-earth personality, professionalism, and refusal to be boxed into one genre. Early life and baseball aspirations. Kurt Vogel Russell was born on March 17, 1951, in Springfield, Massachusetts. His father, Neil Oliver "Bing" Russell, was a character actor best known for his role as Deputy Clem Foster on the long-running TV western Bonanza. His mother, Louise Julia, was a dancer. Growing up around Hollywood, Kurt was exposed to acting early, but his first passion was actually baseball. By his teenage years, Russell had begun a promising minor league career. He played second base for teams in the California Angels farm system, including the Bend Rainbows and the Walla Walla Islanders. Scouts considered him a strong prospect. But his baseball career ended prematurely when a shoulder injury in the early 1970s forced him to focus fully on acting. Child actor and Disney star Russell's career as a child actor started when he was just 12, appearing in TV shows such as The Fugitive, Gilligan's Island, and The Virginian. His natural screen charm caught the attention of Walt Disney himself. Famously, Walt Disney wrote Kurt Russell's name on a piece of paper as one of the actors he believed would carry the studio into the future. From 1966 onward, Russell became the studio's go-to young star. He headlined a string of live-action family comedies including Follow Me, Boys, 1966, The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes, 1969, The Barefoot Executive, 1971, Now You See Him, Now You Don't, 1972, Superdad, 1973, The Strongest Man in the World, 1975. These films made him a household name for younger audiences. But Russell sought to break away from his Disney boy image as he grew older. Career transformation, 1970s to 1980s. In 1979, Russell took a daring turn by portraying Elvis Presley in John Carpenter's TV biopic Elvis. His electrifying performance earned him an Emmy nomination and helped redefine him as a serious adult actor. This collaboration with Carpenter blossomed into one of the most successful director-actor partnerships in Hollywood. Escape from New York, 1981, as the eye patch-wearing anti-hero Snake Plissken, Russell became a cult icon. The Thing, 1982, his role as R.J. MacReady in this horror sci-fi classic solidified him as a versatile leading man. Big Trouble in Little China, 1986, blending comedy, action, and fantasy, this film gave Russell another unforgettable character in Jack Burton. These roles showcased his ability to balance rugged masculinity with humor and vulnerability. 1990's peak and box office success. The 1990s saw Russell thrive as both a star of action thrillers and character-driven dramas. Some highlights: Backdraft, 1991, playing a firefighter in Ron Howard's drama. Tombstone, 1993, portraying Wyatt Earp, a role that has since become one of his most beloved performances. Stargate, 1994, the science fiction blockbuster that later spawned a massive TV franchise. Executive Decision, 1996, a tense hijacking thriller. Breakdown, 1997, a gripping suspense film where he delivered a powerful, everyman performance. Russell's ability to lead blockbusters while also lending gravitas to smaller films made him one of Hollywood's most reliable stars of the decade. Later career, 2000s. Present in the 2000s, Russell diversified his career. Miracle, 2004, as coach Herb Brooks, who led the U.S. hockey team to victory in the 1980 Winter Olympics, Russell received some of the best reviews of his career. Sky High, 2005, a return to Disney, this time as a superhero dad. Death Proof, 2007, Quentin Tarantino cast him as the chilling stuntman Mike, proving Russell could play villains just as effectively as heroes. The Hateful Eight, 2015, reuniting with Tarantino, Russell played a grizzled bounty hunter in this bloody western. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, 2017, Russell introduced himself to Marvel fans as Ego the Living Planet. The Christmas Chronicles, 2018-2020, playing a modern, charismatic Santa Claus. Russell once again delighted family audiences. He also joined the Fast and Furious franchise, portraying Mr. Nobody, an enigmatic government agent in Furious 7, 2015, and its sequels. Personal life and long partnership with Goldie Hawn. Kurt Russell has one of Hollywood's most admired and enduring relationships with Goldie Hawn, which began in 1983 after they co-starred in Swing Shift. They famously appeared together in the romantic comedy Overboard, 1987, which remains a fan favorite. Though never legally married, their partnership has lasted over 4 decades, a rarity in Hollywood. Together, they raised a blended family, their son Wyatt Russell, who has become a successful actor, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Goldie's children, Kate Hudson and Oliver Hudson, both of whom Russell helped raise and remains very close to. Legacy and impact. Kurt Russell's career is a model of longevity, reinvention, and authenticity. Few actors have successfully navigated such diverse roles, from a Disney teen idol to an action hero, from a Western lawman to a Marvel villain, from serious dramas to family comedies. His collaborations with John Carpenter changed the landscape of sci-fi and action cinema. His portrayal of Wyatt Earp in Tombstone influenced a new generation's view of the Western hero. And his seamless ability to shift between blockbuster franchises and smaller character-driven films reflects his wide-ranging talent. Off-screen, Russell is admired for his down-to-earth personality, professionalism, and commitment to family over Hollywood's typical excess. 1950s to 1960s. Early years in child stardom. Family influence. Kurt grew up in a showbiz household. His father, Bing Russell, not only acted on Bonanza but also owned the Portland Mavericks, an independent baseball team later chronicled in the Netflix documentary The Battered Bastards of Baseball. Young Kurt absorbed both Hollywood and baseball culture from his earliest years. First roles. At just 12, Kurt made appearances on popular series like The Travels of Jamie McFeeters, 1963-64, where he played the lead role. The show ran only 1 season but helped showcase his charisma. Disney contract. Walt Disney personally saw something in Kurt, famously writing his name on a note before his death in 1966. Russell quickly became the studio's most bankable young actor, taking over from older child stars like Hayley Mills, 1970s. Transition and reinvention. After years as the Disney boy, Russell faced the challenge of being typecast. He appeared in TV guest spots, Hawaii Five-0, Room 222, while pursuing baseball. His baseball career was on the rise until a shoulder injury in 1973 ended his professional playing days. That injury turned out to be pivotal. It pushed him fully back into acting. The breakthrough came in 1979 with Elvis, directed by John Carpenter. Russell's intense, uncanny portrayal stunned critics. Fun fact: Russell had actually met Elvis as a child on the set of It Happened at the World's Fair. He kicked Elvis in the shins as part of a scene. 1980s. The Carpenter years in cult stardom. Russell transformed into an action icon. Snake Plissken, Escape from New York, 1981, a dystopian antihero with a gravelly voice and a patch over one eye. Snake became a countercultural symbol of rugged individualism. The Thing, 1982, initially a box office disappointment, released against E.T. Carpenter's paranoid horror masterpiece became a cult classic, with Russell's R.J. McReady as the ultimate reluctant hero. Big Trouble in Little China, 1986, Russell played Jack Burton, a bumbling but lovable trucker caught in mystical martial arts battles. Though not a hit at release, the film grew into a beloved cult movie. Tequila Sunrise, 1988, and Tango and Cash, 1989. Russell proved he could play both suave dramatic roles and action comedy alongside big stars like Sylvester Stallone. This decade established him as a counterpoint to mainstream action stars like Stallone and Schwarzenegger. Russell's heroes were flawed, sarcastic, and human, which made them resonate differently. 1990s. A leading man in blockbusters, this was Russell's most commercially successful decade. Backdraft, 1991. Played Stephen "Bull" McCaffrey, a brave but reckless firefighter, in Ron Howard's drama. Tombstone, 1993. Perhaps Russell's defining role of the 1990s. Though officially George P. Cosmatos directed, it's widely believed Russell stepped in to keep the troubled production afloat. His Wyatt Earp, stoic, heroic, but weary, became definitive. The "I'm your Huckleberry" line, spoken by Val Kilmer's Doc Holliday, is iconic, but Russell's gravitas grounds the entire film. Stargate, 1994. As Colonel Jack O'Neill, Russell brought military grit to the sci-fi adventure that launched a massive TV universe. Executive Decision, 1996. A taut thriller where he played an intelligence expert who must save a hijacked plane. Breakdown, 1997, an underrated suspense gem. Russell gave a powerful performance as an everyman searching for his missing wife. By the end of the 90s, Russell was considered one of Hollywood's most bankable stars, capable of carrying action, drama, and thrillers alike. 2000s. Character actor reinvention. Rather than chasing only blockbusters, Russell began taking diverse roles. Miracle, 2004. As Coach Herb Brooks, he delivered a stirring, authentic performance that critics praised as one of his finest. His motivational speeches remain inspiring today. Sky High, 2005, a fun turn as a superhero dad, showing Russell's comedic chops and introducing him to a younger generation. Poseidon, 2006, remake of the Poseidon Adventure, where he brought gravitas to disaster cinema. Death Proof, 2007. Tarantino cast him as stuntman Mike, a charming yet terrifying villain, a total departure from his hero roles. 2010s to 2020s. Franchise player and veteran star Russell embraced his role as a Hollywood elder statesman. The Hateful Eight, 2015, another Tarantino collaboration, where he played the grizzled bounty hunter John, the Hangman, Ruth. His chemistry with Jennifer Jason Leigh and his iconic mustache became talking points. Fast and Furious series, 2015 present, as Mr. Nobody, Russell fits seamlessly into the high-octane world of Dominic Toretto. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, 2017, played Ego, Peter Quill's godlike but sinister father, mixing charm with menace. The Christmas Chronicles, 2018-2020, Russell reinvented Santa Claus with swagger and warmth, creating one of the most beloved modern takes on the character. Even into his 70s, Russell remains in demand, balancing blockbusters, streaming hits, and character-driven films. Personal traits and reputation. Russell is known for his professionalism and loyalty on set. Many directors describe him as a stabilizing presence, especially on chaotic productions. He's also one of Hollywood's rare actors to maintain a positive reputation without major scandals, credited to his focus on family and his down-to-earth nature. Politically independent, he often avoids Hollywood debates, preferring privacy over public spotlight. Legacy. Cultural impact. Snake Plissken influenced countless anti-heroes in film, comics, and video games. Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid was directly inspired by him. Versatility. He is one of few actors to transition successfully from child star right-pointing arrow Disney comedy lead right-pointing arrow cult action hero right-pointing arrow mainstream blockbuster star right-pointing arrow veteran character actor. Partnership with Goldie Hawn. Their 40-plus-year relationship remains one of Hollywood's most admired, symbolizing loyalty and stability in a business known for breakups. Kurt Russell, A Detailed Career Timeline 1960s. Disney and young star. It Happened at the World's Fair, 1963. Small role alongside Elvis Presley, where he famously kicks Elvis in the shins. The Travels of Jamie McPheeters, 1963-64, TV. Lead role in a Western adventure series, Russell's first real showcase as a child actor. Follow Me, Boys, 1966, Disney debut, where he played Fred MacMurray's adopted son. This launched his long association with the studio. The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes, 1969, cult Disney comedy that made him a star with young audiences. Clapperboard. By the end of the 1960s, Russell was firmly established as Disney's new leading teen star. 1970s, breaking out in Baseball Dreams. The Barefoot Executive, 1971. Now You See Him, Now You Don't, 1972. The Strongest Man in the World, 1975, more Disney comedies, cementing his wholesome image. Baseball career, early 1970s. Played in the minor leagues with promise until a shoulder injury ended his dream. Elvis, 1979, TV, breakthrough adult role, directed by John Carpenter. Russell's Emmy-nominated performance redefined him as a serious actor. Clapperboard. This decade was transitional. Russell shed his Disney boy image and proved he could tackle mature, complex roles. 1980s. The Carpenter era and action icon Used Cars, 1980, a dark comedy directed by Robert Zemeckis, showcasing Russell's comedic timing and edgy charm. Escape from New York, 1981, introduced Snake Plissken, a cult antihero who became one of Russell's most iconic characters. The Thing, 1982, now considered a horror masterpiece, though underappreciated at release. Russell's MacReady is paranoid, tough, and deeply human. Silkwood, 1983, supporting role opposite Meryl Streep and Cher. Earned critical respect for his dramatic acting. Swing Shift, 1984, co-starred with Goldie Hawn, marking the start of their lifelong partnership. Big Trouble in Little China, 1986, genre-bending action comedy with Russell as the hilariously clueless Jack Burton. Initially a flop, later a cult classic. Overboard, 1987, romantic comedy with Hawn, a fan favorite and one of their most beloved collaborations. Tequila Sunrise, 1988, starred alongside Mel Gibson and Michelle Pfeiffer in a stylish crime drama. Tango and Cash, 1989, buddy cop action comedy with Sylvester Stallone. A box office hit despite troubled production. Clapperboard. By the end of the 80s, Russell was cemented as a cult star and mainstream action lead, able to balance comedy, sci-fi, and drama. 1990s, leading man and box office power. Backdraft, 1991. Played a hot-headed firefighter in Ron Howard's hit drama, Captain Ron, 1992, goofy family comedy. Russell's eccentric sailor became a cult character. Tombstone, 1993, as Wyatt Earp, Russell delivered a commanding, stoic performance. Widely regarded as one of the best westerns of the modern era. Stargate, 1994, sci-fi blockbuster, later spun off into a massive TV franchise. Executive Decision, 1996, played a thoughtful intelligence expert in a suspenseful hijacking thriller. Notable for killing off Steven Seagal's character early in the film. Escape from L.A., 1996. Returned as Snake Plissken. The film was polarizing, but Russell's performance remained iconic. Breakdown, 1997, an intense thriller about a man searching for his kidnapped wife. critically acclaimed as one of Russell's best everyman performances. Soldier, 1998, sci-fi drama where Russell delivered a nearly wordless performance as a genetically engineered warrior. Though a box office failure, it has since gained cult status. Clapperboard: the 90s established Russell as a reliable box office draw, capable of carrying everything from westerns to thrillers to sci-fi epics. 2000s, character actor depth 3,000 Miles to Graceland, 2001, played an Elvis impersonating criminal. Divisive, but a memorable role. Vanilla Sky, 2001, supporting role opposite Tom Cruise, showing his continued range. Miracle, 2004, played Herb Brooks, coach of the 1980 U.S. hockey team. One of his most acclaimed performances, praised for authenticity and depth. Sky High, 2005. Family superhero comedy where he played the commander, introducing him to a new generation. Poseidon, 2006, remake of the disaster film. Though not a hit, Russell's heroic turn stood out. Death Proof, 2007, Quentin Tarantino cast him as stuntman Mike, a charming yet terrifying villain. A complete inversion of his heroic image. Clapperboard: in this decade, Russell proved he wasn't just a leading man, he was a character actor who could play both heroes and villains with equal skill. 2010s to 2020s. Veteran star and pop culture mainstay The Art of the Steal, 2013, comedy caper where Russell played an aging motorcycle stuntman and thief. The Hateful Eight, 2015, as John Ruth. Russell gave a commanding performance, holding his own among an ensemble cast. Furious 7, 2015, The Fate of the Furious, 2017, F9, 2021, introduced as Mr. Nobody, Russell became part of the Fast and Furious mega franchise. Bone Tomahawk, 2015, a brutal horror western where Russell's sheriff character anchored the film's intensity. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, 2017, played Ego, Peter Quill's charismatic but villainous father. The Christmas Chronicles, 2018-2020, Russell reinvented Santa Claus with humor, charm, and swagger. Became a surprise holiday classic. Monarch, Legacy of Monsters, 2023, TV, played older Lee Shaw, with his real-life son Wyatt Russell portraying the younger version. Clapperboard: even into his 70s, Russell remains in demand, balancing blockbusters, prestige films, and streaming hits. Face mask acting style and persona. Russell's hallmark is his blend of toughness and humor. Unlike Schwarzenegger or Stallone, he plays heroes who feel flawed and human. His anti-heroes, Snake Plissken, Jack Burton, influenced video game characters like Solid Snake, Metal Gear Solid. He's often cast as the reluctant hero, a man who doesn't seek glory but rises to the occasion. Glowing star legacy: from child star to Disney teen idol to action icon to veteran actor. Russell's career is a rare story of reinvention and longevity. His collaborations with John Carpenter changed the DNA of sci-fi and horror. His partnership with Goldie Hawn remains a Hollywood legend. Generations of fans know him in different ways. Disney kids in the 70s, action fans in the 80s, Western lovers in the 90s, Marvel and Netflix audiences in the 2010s. Essential Kurt Russell watchlist, with context. 1. The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes, 1969. Disney era Why It Matters, a charming Disney comedy that made Russell a household name. It represents his early all-American boy image and Walt Disney's personal faith in his career. 2. Elvis, 1979, TV, career transformation Why It Matters. Russell shocked critics with his uncanny portrayal of Elvis Presley, earning an Emmy nomination. This film proved he could break away from Disney's clean-cut image. Light bulb behind the scenes. John Carpenter directed it, beginning one of the most important director-actor collaborations of the 80s. 3. Escape from New York, 1981. Cult antihero Why It Matters, introduced Snake Plissken, a cynical, one-eyed outlaw in a dystopian Manhattan. Russell created a new kind of action hero, sarcastic, flawed, and reluctant. Legacy. Snake inspired countless characters, including Solid Snake from the Metal Gear Solid video game series. 4. The Thing, 1982, horror masterpiece Why It Matters. Initially a flop, Carpenter's paranoid sci-fi horror is now a classic. Russell's MacReady, a helicopter pilot fighting a shape-shifting alien, became one of his signature roles. Legacy. Cited today as one of the greatest horror films ever made, influencing directors from Guillermo del Toro to Tarantino. 5. Silkwood, 1983, dramatic depth Why It Matters. Russell held his own opposite Meryl Streep and Cher in this political drama about nuclear safety. It cemented his credibility as a serious actor, not just an action star. 6. Big Trouble in Little China, 1986, cult comedy classic Why It Matters. Russell played Jack Burton, a trucker who thinks he's the hero but is actually a bumbling sidekick. The film was ahead of its time, blending martial arts, fantasy, and comedy. Legacy. Though it flopped on release, it became a cult classic and influenced later genre mashups like Mortal Kombat. 7. Overboard, 1987, rom-com favorite Why It Matters. Co-starring with Goldie Hawn, Russell showcased his charm and comedic timing. Their real-life romance gave the film a warm authenticity. 8. Tombstone, 1993, definitive Western role Why It Matters. Russell as Wyatt Earp anchored this stylish Western. His stoicism balanced Val Kilmer's flamboyant Doc Holliday. Behind the scenes. Russell later revealed he stepped in to help direct after problems on set, though George P. Cosmatos is credited. Legacy, considered one of the best modern westerns. Beloved for its quotable dialogue and emotional gravitas. 9. Stargate, 1994, sci-fi blockbuster Why It Matters. Russell brought military grit as Colonel Jack O'Neill in this Roland Emmerich hit. It launched a multimedia franchise, TV series, spin-offs, that still endures. 10. Breakdown, 1997, everyman thriller Why It Matters. Russell gave one of his best performances as an ordinary man pushed to the edge when his wife goes missing. The stripped-down suspense showed his range outside of big spectacle films. 11. Miracle, 2004, inspirational coach Why It Matters. Playing real-life hockey coach Herb Brooks, Russell delivered a performance both critics and audiences praised as deeply authentic. His locker room speech is considered one of the most moving in sports cinema. 12. Death Proof, 2007, villainous turn Why It Matters. Quentin Tarantino cast Russell against type as stuntman Mike, a charming yet sadistic killer. The role demonstrated his ability to be terrifying and charismatic at once. 13. Bone Tomahawk, 2015, horror western fusion Why It Matters. An independent horror western where Russell played a small-town sheriff. The film was brutal, slow-burning, and showed Russell's willingness to take risks late in his career. 14. The Hateful Eight, 2015, Tarantino western Why It Matters. As bounty hunter John Ruth, the hangman, Russell chewed scenery with flair. His gruff presence held its own among Samuel L. Jackson, Jennifer Jason Leigh, and others. 15. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, 2017. Marvel villain Why It Matters. Russell brought gravitas and charm to Ego the Living Planet, a godlike but sinister father figure to Star-Lord. He blended menace with charisma, embodying Marvel's blend of humor and danger. 16. The Christmas Chronicles, 2018 and 2020. A new Santa Claus: Why It Matters. Russell reinvented Santa as cool, funny, and heartfelt. The films became instant holiday favorites, introducing him to yet another new generation. Face mask: cultural significance, longevity. Russell's career is one of Hollywood's rare cases of continuous reinvention. From Disney child star, right-pointing arrow, cult action hero, right-pointing arrow, leading man, right-pointing arrow, elder statesman. Archetype shift: his heroes weren't invincible like Schwarzenegger or Stallone. They were flawed, sarcastic, reluctant, making them more human and relatable. Partnership with Carpenter. The duo created enduring works: Escape from New York, The Thing, Big Trouble in Little China, that shaped the DNA of modern sci-fi, action, and horror. Goldie Hawn partnership. Their 40-plus year relationship remains a cultural touchstone of Hollywood stars.
Bye bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.